Hi everyone. Welcome to Secret Monday morning stream, and I need to wash my hands. We're sort of doing a cooking stream today. Secret. If it tells you in your go live message, then it's still a secret, right? If it didn't alert you, that might be like extra secret. I love Secret. Secret's great. All right, hands are clean. So we're doing seasoned salts and sugars today. I'm gonna start with the sugars, and if I make it to salts, that's great. If I don't, then whatever. I can live there. So I got invited to a Christmas party and I didn't know what to do. And like, yeah, I could paint something, but then I don't know how long that's gonna take. And this I can get done at least in an afternoon, even if it's not all on stream. And I thought I'd share it with you guys. So that's what we're doing today. So I bought these jars. These jars. They came in a 6-pack. And then I bought this basket to put them all in. And the reason I got this idea was the company I've bought vanilla beans from before, which is Beanilla. Beanilla, so like vanilla bean, vanilla, had a sale. And I was like, oh, I'll buy 3 vanilla beans. So I did, and I was like, I like making vanilla sugar and using that in coffee. So I ordered them, and then I was like, oh, I could expand this into a gift idea. You can't eat paint. True. So one of the things we're gonna do is make vanilla sugar today, and that's the easiest one. So I'm not gonna start with it because there is some oven involved, and we're gonna start with that one because it needs to sit in the oven for a little bit. So my thought is I wanted to do 3 sugars and 3 salts. So vanilla sugar, lemon sugar, and hibiscus flower sugar. And then basil salt, rosemary salt, and a lime. It was gonna be chipotle salt, but I couldn't get chipotles at the store. They didn't have chipotles. They had anchos, which are dried poblanos. So that's what we're doing instead. It'll be slightly less hot, and that's fine. So I have everything prepped, as you can see back there. I have rosemary off the porch. I already washed it. And I have basil, which I would have had off the porch, but it got real cold and it killed all my basil. So I had to buy basil. I have my limes back there. All the salt stuff is back there, and all the sugar stuff is currently right here. So we can start with the sugar stuff. Rip Whistly. Yeah, the oven's on and it's already preheated and you can't tell. That's great. So the first thing I have to do is actually zest 6 lemons. I need 2 tablespoons, or sorry, I need 6 tablespoons total. So we're gonna just start zesting, and that's why I brought a chair over, because I'm gonna be zesting for a bit. So we're just gonna kind of hang out and make these infused sugars and salts today, until I have a dermatology appointment at least. We have a 32-month resub from Spinach Wrap, 33 from Vagabond, 28 from Detran, and 29 from Sappy Bee. Thank you for the resubs on Secret Morning Stream. Ow! That was my knee. So I'm just gonna sit here in Seiza until I need to sit crisscross. And this is gonna be the time-consuming part of this, and that kind of sucks. So I'm just gonna zest these lemons onto this tray, and then I'm going to measure them until I get 6 tablespoons. You have 2 knees, it's fine. But I need them both for biking. And I wanna show you what happened to my bike yesterday, but that means I'm gonna have to wash my hands again. So I can get the piece later and I can talk about it now. The kitchen island is a solid object. Yeah, there's no knee space on this side of the island. There's a cabinet right here. It's the silverware cabinet and the thing that holds my rice cooker. And there's some other stuff down there. I don't know what else. Oh, that's where all of my lanterns are if we have a power outage. They're down there. What am I making? I am infusing salts and sugars with various flavors. And I had talked to Vagabond actually. I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And Vagabond had some thoughts and was like, well, if you do this like jalapeno lime salt, that could be good on like the rim of a cocktail glass. And I was like, fair point. But everything I found for doing a jalapeno infused salt required a dehydrator or cooking it in the oven for a very long time to dry out the jalapeno. And I wasn't about to run my oven for 8 hours or something. So I had to find an alternative, and that's why we went with I was, like I said, gonna do a dried jalapeno and use a chipotle, which is a dried jalapeno, but they didn't have them in the store I was in, so we went with anchos, which are dried poblanos. Jalapeno lime salt is pretty much tahini. True. I'm just trying to get the rest of this zest off this lemon. And then I guess I'll just make a lemonade with this later, because now I have 6 lemons all of a sudden. How much zest did that give us? I've never had a bad thought. Okay. I need a spoon. My leg's in the way of the spoon drawer. Oh, this is my half tablespoon, not my full tablespoon. Whoops. We gotta change that because otherwise my measurements will be very off. Can I reach it? Oh, it's either in the sink or in the dishwasher. Dishwasher is the answer. Dishwasher's clean. Just double the amount for everything. Yeah, but what if I forget? All right, how much zest did that give us? About a tablespoon. That's about a tablespoon. That seems good-ish. I do need this to push it around though. I'm gonna have to do this again with limes later when I do the salts. So get ready for a lot of zesting today. Thankfully, it's the sort of recipe that's far from exact. Yeah, I found a lot of different ways to do this when I stayed up probably far too late last night doing that research. I did some of it the other day, and then I changed my mind on what I wanted to do. So then I was up till like 1 doing more research and making a grocery list. Math is hard. Yeah. I kind of wish I had 4 vanilla beans, to be honest, because I want to do a bottle of vanilla sugar for myself, but I don't have 4 vanilla beans. That's fine. Cookie butter iced chai. That sounds really good. 2. We have a 33-month resub from Rowlet Hoot and 300 bits from Fire Goddess who says, morning a lizard with your early morning baking. Good morning. We also have a 32-month resub from Zimmer CJ. Lemon number 3. I'm gonna go to the dermatologist later and they're gonna be like, why do you smell like lemons? Like really strong. This one's harder. Lemon. Lemon. New hand cream, pure lemon extract. I'm going for my annual skin check to make sure I don't have skin cancer because it runs in my family. I scared myself. I thought I got my knuckle. I did not. Oh, I know what would help. Wrapping the thing in paper towel. Also, let's get this lemon juice off my hand. And find where I put that towel. I have Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew's great. It's been a long time since I've had it. We have a 33-month resub from Elfie Goldfish. Oh, I did get it. Okay, I was checking. I have gloves. We will do that. That will help. And my oven is hot. So one of the recipes was like, hey, you can cook this if your oven goes down to 150, but it was like most ovens don't. They go to 170. And mine does not go to 150. So that was fun to discover. I thought I was fine. Everyone says, oh my God, I just realized it's December. Yeah, same. We have a 27-month resub from Elsimi82. All right. This helps me grip it better anyway. This was probably what I should have done to start with. Three lemons. Paper towel not actually gonna work. Glove works better. Snow is hitting tomorrow? Oh, my aunt sent a photo to the family chat. That was basically 12 inches of snow. She threw a 1-foot ruler into the snow and it goes right to the 12-inch mark. I was like, oh, great. I love that for Milwaukee. I got about a foot in Michigan? Yeah. We were, the forecast the other day said we might get a little bit of sleet in Raleigh, and that's changed, but now it's saying we might get some on Saturday. No snow in Fort Lauderdale yet. That would be wild, aggregated molecules. We have a 31-month threesome from Valix. Good morning. Clear alert. What if snow in Fort Lauderdale as a treat? My dad did respond with a picture of sand and a measuring tape inside the sand. And he had like pushed it down so it was like 2 inches of sand. He was complaining about having to like clean the house, like the outside of the house, because it's getting like full of mildew. Because Florida's super humid and everything gets mildewy, moldy outside, and their house is like white stucco or something. So he's like, I have to spray this cleaner on it and then let it sit and then like pressure wash it off. And I was like, are you sick of Florida yet? One more. I'd be sick of Florida after a day. Some of these zest easier, I'm noticing. Like one of these I was able to zest so nicely and I got like most of it, and then some of these are just like kind of splotchy. I'm getting it in pieces and not like nice zest pieces of it. Like the skin is tougher to get the zest? I don't know. Something. I've never zested so many at once. Well, that's all 6. I got a little bit of zest on my leg. Just get all the zest off of this, because that's where all the oils are from the lemon. Which way does this go? That way. That can go there. That can go there. These all can go over here. And then we'll just kind of like spread this out. Drier, older lemons are harder? Maybe. These all looked really fresh at the store when I was there this morning. I have this whole sheet pan. I should just spread this out as much as possible. Because that way it can dry better in the oven. because it's going to go in the oven next. So one of my bike friends last Tuesday was in the group chat and saying that he needs to hit like 900 miles to get his goal for the year, which was like, what did he say? 100 kilometers was his goal for the year. I take that back. 1,000 kilometers, right? Because it ends up being like 6,000 something miles. His goal is like 6,000 something miles. So what is that in kilometers? 10,000, that's it, thank you. He's trying to hit 10,000 kilometers in the year. My brain probably would have got there in a minute. Because I know it's like 62 miles is 100 kilometers. So he's trying to hit 10,000 kilometers in a year. He's incredible. He's the one I bought my bike from. And he was saying, he's like, I'm not that far off. I might hit it. He's like, if I ride 30 miles a day till the end of the year, he's like, I could probably hit it. He's like, anyway, so we're doing a long ride this weekend. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm in. I need, I'm like 200 miles short of my goal. This is going in the oven. For 10 minutes. Get all the extra zest off my hand. What temp and how long? 170 for 10 minutes. I want them to be crispy but not brown. That's the goal. What's my distance record? Just over 100 kilometers in one ride is my current record. All right, so that's all set there. Next, I'm gonna probably do the vanilla. Well, that's in the oven. How many miles have I rode this year? I'm at about 1,800, so like 1,800 something. And after yesterday, I went 50 yesterday with them. I'm closer to like, I think 180 miles left or something. No, sorry, 118 miles left or something is where I'm at for the rest of the year, where I need to be. All right, let's move this out of the way. Come here, lemons. Need a cutting board for the vanilla. I need no water on this. So my new goal is 2,000, yes. I had a bet with Thomas for 1,000 miles, and then I hit that in July. Like July 4th week, I hit that. So we switched that pretty quick. So yesterday we were doing this 50-mile ride. It was a group of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. And we were almost to 25 miles. And I had a catastrophic bike failure. So that was fun. And by catastrophic, I mean a piece failed on my bike that needed replaced or I could not continue. I was not injured. I did not fall. It was just, the bike was broken enough that something needed to get fixed, or I would have needed to call for someone to come rescue me. So it was my brakes. We were going and I was leading because I knew where we were going. And then I had to, I'm gonna pour the sugar. There's not enough in here to measure it right. So then one of my friends called a local bike shop where we were, because we were not in Raleigh. And so like in Raleigh, we'd be like, oh yeah, we know this place is open till 5 or whatever. I'm measuring out 3 cups of sugar. It's 1 cup per bean. So we called around and we found a bike shop that was open, and they were only a mile away. 2, 3. Has nothing to do with the wireless stuff. Yeah, it had nothing to do with the actual wireless part. It was the brake pads on my disc brakes. So they were worn out, and then the spring that holds them together failed is what happened. Knife. And like that shore off. Which meant that I needed new brake pads. But luckily, all of the guys I were with, because it was 3 guys and, what is that? What did I say there was? Let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 5 girls. So all of the guys like are actually competent cyclists, and like one of them used to be a bike mechanic, and the one I bought my bike from like does maintenance on his own bikes because he has like 5 of them, and he's like, it'd be really expensive for me to pay a shop to do this all the time on all of my bikes. So he knows what he's doing as well. And then the other guy also does, but he was like, this is kind of nice. He's like, they got it this time. I don't have to be the one to do all the work. So we went to a bike shop and they had to figure out what I needed, and then they changed it for me. So I'm getting, I believe the term is caviar, the vanilla beans out of the pod. So you cut it open and then you use the back of the knife to like scrape the pod, and the seeds come right out. It's those little black specks you get. See the black there? Hope it's not an expensive fix. I mean, it could have been if I was paying for the labor of it, like at the bike shop itself, but my friends did it for me. And I'm gonna buy them drinks at some point, but we weren't going to any bars or anything yesterday to be able to do that. So I got to learn cool stuff about my brakes. It was about 20 bucks a brake pad, and they recommended I do both at the same time. So I did fronts as well, because it was the backs that failed. So it was like 20 bucks a pair. So it was like 40 bucks total, and that was just the parts. All right, I'm also gonna cut these in half and rub the sugar into it and use the sugar kind of like a little bit of a sandpaper to get all of the pieces of that out. So I'm slicing my second vanilla bean down the middle, and we'll use the back of the knife to scrape out all these seeds too. And I think I just scraped it all onto the cutting board instead of onto the back of the knife because it folded into itself. There we go. There's the seeds. Tex says, have you ever considered making your own extract? I have. That was actually what I considered doing, but that takes significantly longer than the sugar. So I decided to do the sugar. Oop. Go in there. What's my timer at? 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the lemons. Get those in there, and then we have our last one. Extract is the order of months. Yeah. I thought about extract. I really did, because that was what the email I got from this company was like, hey, you could make some vanilla extract for the holidays as a gift. And I was like, I could. And I was like, that takes a while. Why don't we just make sugar? And then I was like, wait, what if I do a few other things and not just sugar, which is how I started to come up with this idea. It smells really good. There we go, open. It keeps folding in half and then I can't scrape it good. Okay, do that, and we want every speck of this. There's a few specks I'm not getting, and that's slightly upsetting. Vanilla sugar does take a while too. Yeah, that's like a month. And like, that's fine. So I'm just going to kind of massage all of the chunks of the seeds into the sugar and kind of use it to break it up. And then I'm just going to rub sugar into the pods that are sitting here. And like I said, use kind of the sugar as sandpaper to get any extra out. Oh no, my timer. No, stop. Stop. All right, so I'm just going to pull these lemons out. And they look pretty dry because they're skating around the pan. If I shake it a little bit. I'm just gonna set that here. Anyway, back to vanilla. We have a 32-month resub from Luna Gazer. Hi. My hands are full of vanilla sugar right now. So you can't see it, but like there's tiny little seeds in the sugar. I'm just trying to break up all of the chunks I had from the knife scraping. Does New Silent Oven have a name? No. I don't want to name it preemptively. We might get a good name at some point organically. Oh, there's a big chunk of vanilla bean. I think I got all of the pods kind of rubbed into the sugar good, but I feel like I'm missing some more chunks of seeds. There's a good one. And I know this is kind of oily, like when you cut open a vanilla bean pod. So that's why gloves are preferable, so it can kind of not soak into your hands. Name it something like Carl. This smells incredible, and I'm kind of like stirring some sugary dust up into the air. So just breathing, I can kind of taste sugar. Dermatologist's office about to go crazy over your new perfume. They're gonna love it. Okay, I think that's it. I'm not finding any more chunks. Found a tiny one, I lied. Okay. It's kind of fun when you find one, you just kind of grab it and then it falls apart and then you get to see all the little black specks from the vanilla. All right. These and a funnel. So I'm going to take these because these are still good and they can give more vanilla. I'm going to put them in there. Two, 3, 4. That one can use an extra. So can that one. So can that one. And that's all of the big pod pieces. So now I'm going to pour this into my measuring cup, which is probably a mistake. Yeah, this is a big mistake. All right, what can I do that's a better idea? Do I have anything else with a spout that's bigger? I think the answer is no. Or at least something I can't get without Steven's help. Unless... Got it. Pitcher. This'll work. Do I have printer paper available? Not easily available. This is still not the best idea because the bowl is so wide. I don't want to lose any of this down the sink. Paper towel. Not quite as sturdy, but it can still funnel it a little bit. Stay together there. There. It also doesn't help that this is glass, and so it's therefore heavy with one hand. I can also kind of like look through the sugar as I'm doing this to see if I missed any chunks, and I did not. Okay, cool. Now we can pour this in here. These glass bottles came with these little funnels. I don't know if they're any good. I have smooth funnels instead of these pop open ones. And I think I made enough to do all three. Oh, that was nearly nowhere close to full like the other one was. one's full. I can taste the stream. I can kind of taste it in the air. Just a little bit of the sugar just getting kicked up. What am I gonna do with this little bit? Like, I can get it in there, but it's just going to be difficult. I want to eat it. What am I gonna do with it? We're just gonna set it to the side, and then maybe I'll put a little bit of tea in it later. All right, so here's the vanilla sugar. So I need to get the lids from way over there and wash them, and then put this on. So I might just wrap these tops in saran wrap for now. So that's the vanilla sugar. Cute. Eat it by the handful. We have 100 bits from Fire Goddess. Hello. Some tea with your sugar. All right, we're gonna just set these over here for now. Come over here. And then we have the lemons cooled, so we can do the lemon next. And it's gonna be the same deal. It's like the lemons are set, so now we're just gonna mix it and put it in jars. And I'm definitely not getting to any of the salts today. I might do that later off screen. It's gonna wipe all the sugar dust out of this bowl so we don't have the flavor influence too much, even though I'm sure the lemon's gonna overpower the vanilla that's in here. All right. Just joined. What flavors are we infusing? So I just did the vanilla sugar, and now I'm gonna do the lemon because the lemons are ready. That wasn't enough. I knew that, but I gotta fill this back up. Cloud of sugar into the air. It's almost a cup, or almost not, less. It's basically not a cup at all, is what I'm trying to say. 1, 2, and then 3. Did I buy enough sugar? Could I mix it in the pitcher? Oh my God. Yeah. That would have been smart. But the pitcher has the good stuff in it. I can put that in here. I really wish my giant Pyrex, like this, but my bigger one, was clean. It's not. Baga you, thank you. Monday energy, yeah. Definitely Monday energy. And just pour this in here. Get another cloud of sugar into the air. All right, so this is all dry. So these are all of the lemon zests. I think I want a spoon. And this isn't going to crumble like the vanilla beans did, because the zest is obviously just bigger. So I'm just trying to mix it around to get evenly dispersed in the sugar. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll just pour it into glasses. We have 100 bits from Mick Butts the Crime Dog. Good morning. Who says, how are y'all liking the new house? New house has been great. Been happy with it. When I'm done and I can not worry about like rewashing my hands again, I'll grab my new house plants. I'm very happy with the Monstera I got. I remember being gifted some lavender sugar. That was on my list, Casper. Lavender sugar was definitely on my list, and I decided to go with hibiscus instead. I'm gonna pour this. Because I have a lot of lavender from the cake I made for my birthday. Trying to make sure I don't overflow this and get sugar everywhere. There's more sugar in this than the vanilla. But maybe these just need tapped down a little bit. Yeah. Shoot, there we go. That's what I didn't want to happen. All right, so there's the vanilla, or sorry, this is the lemon. Can you see the little lemon zest in there? I'm just gonna move these next to the vanilla. I'll get the caps later. I can tell those apart pretty easy. So that's that one. I'll just wipe all the sugar into the sink. I'll wipe the counter down later. It'll solve that problem. Plenty of mint, you could try that. I did think about that, Jet. All right, the next thing is the hibiscus sugar. So we're gonna do that next. The problem with the remaining ones is I need my food processor for all of them. So I'm like, I don't want the flavors to like I don't want there to be basil and the rosemary. So we're going to do the hibiscus and see where we end up with. So it's the same deal with the hibiscus, is we're going to food process it to make it smaller, and then we're just gonna mix it with sugar and put it in a jar. Mint sugar sounds like something I would use in every recipe. I thought about mint. I thought about it too, because I have mint outside. I have a lot of mint outside. Oh my God, I lost my lav. Did it go? Yes, it did. Sorry. Oh, that was probably very loud. I am sorry. It got stuck on the cabinet. There we go. It also came unplugged, so hopefully it wasn't loud. I lost my lav. Anyway, food processor time. And Steven took all of my outlets when he put the stuff together for stream. So I do not have an outlet for this over here, so I'm gonna have to do it over there. It was not bad. Good. I need a 1/4 cup measurement. Oh, that smells so sweet though. Oh, that's good. Okay. So it's 3 cups of hibiscus, but 1/4 of that, shoot, needs to go in the containers alone and not get pulsed up. Who wants to math for me? Unplug the computer? I could. Math? All right, so I need 3 cups of hibiscus. And 75% of that is going in the food processor. I need to know what isn't and what that measurement is. So that's going to be 3/4 cup is going not in the food processor. Is that the right math? Sounds like the right math. Vagabond says yes. All right, so here's 1/4, and then I'm gonna put these in the jar. Oh no. I didn't clip that very good. Let me mute. There, that's good now. Yeah, 1/4 per jar. I made some jam with this hibiscus. It will stain your fingers if it is rehydrated. Okay, so there's a 1/4 cup in each of these jars. And now I need to pulverize the rest of it. I'm gonna get my big measuring cup. This will be slightly easier. So that's 1 1/2. And then another 1/2 and a 1/4. All right, that is all the hibiscus. And then 3 cups of sugar. It will stain them a beautiful pink-red color. It is very beautiful. Less sugar, looking at the jars, you might not fit as much. I might put it in a Tupperware container so I have a little bit too. Two. Three. That is it for all the sugar. All right, this, how does this go back together on mine? This way? No, that was right. No? I had it right. Why aren't you closing? Do I have it backwards? Does this go over here? Yeah, it does. I'm used to it being on the machine. And that doesn't want to close because it's not on the machine. Should have had it on the base first. I think that's it. Because now it's not wanting to cooperate. Shoot, I should have done this backwards. You'll find out when you turn it on. Yeah. Because what happened is I set it on its base here and the blade tried to go onto the stick and it popped it up. So when I put it in, the blade was not in its right spot. Gonna be deep cleaning the kitchen after this because there's sugar everywhere. Anyway, now that we have that fixed, we can do this. Okay, it wants me to pulse it. So we're just going to do that. Which I'm not sure is doing a whole lot, like it's making some of it smaller. But it seems like this will be a longer process. Wonder how that sounds on mic. I'm kind of wondering if using like a mortar and pestle might have been a better idea for this, because it would have broken it up smaller. I mean, it is working, it's just going to take a while. Cat digging in a litter box with more force. You might want to start it in a mortar and pestle and then process it to finish it off. Yeah. So one of the things I had been looking at with all of these is like some of them were like, oh, you need to let it dry in the air, or you need to let it dry at 225 in the oven for 30. But this one is only 170 for 10 minutes. So it was kind of interesting to see the differences in some of these. Like the chipotle lime one, like I was combining a lime salt and a chipotle salt and then putting them together. That was what I was gonna do. And it's like, oh, you need to take the sea salt and the lime zest and use the mortar and pestle and then cook it. But whereas this one, it's like, oh, just food process it. But I'm like, oh, well, the mortar and pestle might have been a better option for this one. So it's all kind of different because I've only ever done the vanilla before. And I'm thinking about unplugging the computer or grabbing some of the bigger bits and using the mortar and pestle on them. So that will help, I think. Aren't you in North Carolina? Just dump it into the barrel of a shotgun? That's heavy. Breaking down the hibiscus itself. Like maybe if I had done the hibiscus alone, but maybe the sugar is like making that harder. I don't know. We're just gonna do this with some of these pieces. Because when it can get a piece of it, it does break it up. And it is slightly pink. I think I put too much in. This is working. It's making it smaller. So instead of the big chunks, now I have smaller chunks. Trust the process. We're trying. It's also like a learning experience too, because the vanilla is easy enough. This is slightly more complicated. I hate this noise. ASMR stream, yeah, maybe. I'm not trying to powderize it, I'm just trying to break them up a little bit. We have a 33-month resub from Sakura Celica. Thank you. It's making it nice and pink. There's like a fine pink dust in the mortar and pestle. But what if powder? That would take a while. Just grab a few more of the big chunks, and then I might go back to blending. Oh, there's another big chunk. Crush, smush, pulverize, destroy. And we had a tiny, tiny mortar and pestle that we used for Kepler's meds when he was on one that needed to be powderized. And my experience with them, if you just keep going, it will turn into powder. Some of the sugar to get all of the extra flavor off that. It's pink. Can you see it's pink? All right, back over here. I'm kind of thinking I might take some of the bigger chunks out. I don't know, like as I put it in the jar. But it's definitely better. Like, serviceable. Okay. Why aren't you unlocking? Please. Oh my God, I did it again. Yeah, Mike is not cooperating today, and I keep getting hooked on the handle of the kitchen counter right here with the drawer. Kitchen boom mic, yeah. Or anything overhead, that would be helpful. But that is not today. I need my other funnel. All right, can you see the pink from it though? Like, see the line from the hibiscus? Get a drone that carries boom mics. Oh, I already have these. Because I put hibiscus in them already. How do I want to do this? I think I want to put it in this bowl and then just use the measuring cup. Maybe pull some of these bigger pieces out. I don't, oh wait, there's stuff in there, so why would I bother? Just maybe break them. We have a 32-month resub from Darkness Bride. Thank you. Good afternoon. It's officially afternoon now. Okay. This one's really full of bits. So many bits of hibiscus. Like, I kind of want to take some out of the jars. That's how many there are. I need a bowl for that. Okay, slowly filling this.
A Star Ghost restores 1 heart of your energy.
This works better, for this one at least. We have 300 bits from Aggregated Molecules that says, can you add some hibiscus sugar to the Star Ghost for added flair? It might improve the taste. These jars came with little like strainers, shaker caps. So I think that will be fine because you could kind of like use that to filter this as you're using it. I do wish it was finer, but it's not. Might break up some more of these with the pestle. The funnels are actually awful. I do have a smooth funnel, like an actual funnel, I thought about grabbing. This is working better than the food processor though, I have to say. I use your or you use your oxo funnel. I think that's what I have. Well, I'm lucky that, like, is today the 1st? Yeah. Today's technically new contact day, but I didn't put new contacts in. But all of this powder is going right into my eyes. All right. This is better. I still need the funnel, however. I think. Now that it's smaller, is that working better? No. But it does let me kind of scoop it better than the measuring cup because it's pliable. I'm sure it's meant for like non-chunky seasonings to put in jars. There we go. See, it's a little bit of a learning experience. Does the world look sweeter today? I can really smell the hibiscus too. And I mean, I felt that way about the lemon and the vanilla. Take some of these chunks out. Take some of these chunks out. Cute. So those are all the sugars. So there's the hibiscus. It's slightly pink. I don't know how good the color on the camera is today with the light, but it is slightly pink. Now, what are you making with the leftover sugar? I might put them, I have another jar, a separate jar. Which one has the most? Lemon maybe? Or I have some like little tiny Tupperwares I might put them in for myself to use. Because I'm looking at the salt and I'm looking at thyme. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get to the salt. The rosemary is going to take the longest, so maybe I will, oh wait, that needs this too. Because they all of them need the food processor. And right now that's full of sugar and rosemary. So maybe I should just like stop for now because that's going to be a whole thing to wash it and let it dry out. So combine all three. Make it very intense and lose all of the vanilla because the vanilla one is the least. Flip the jars upside down. Yeah, I might work on that a little bit because I have a little bit of each. Because that'll help. Rosemary salt, that would be fantastic. Yeah, that was what I was going to do. So we did vanilla, lemon, and hibiscus sugar. So this is the hibiscus, and the lemon and the vanilla are over there. And then I was going to do basil salt, rosemary salt, and then a lime. I was going to do chipotle, but we got anchos instead. So I have anchos. So that one will be there. So I have all of the rosemary. I harvested it from the porch earlier and washed it, so it's drying. And then I have basil that I also washed, but this was from the store because mine died in the cold. And then I have the limes. Uh-oh, I almost got tangled again by a second food processor. It's the way to do it. No, this is probably a good stopping point because everything else will take the oven and the food processor getting washed in over 30 minutes in the oven. But I can talk about them. So the basil is going to be a cup of salt, sea salt, and a cup of basil, and then that gets blended in the food processor, and then it gets baked at 225 for 30 minutes, stirred at 15 minutes, just to dry it out, and then it gets put in a jar. The rosemary is basically the same. It gets blended in the food processor, 1 cup to 4 tablespoons of chopped rosemary. And then that dries out in the air, apparently. And then the lime and chipotle, I was gonna do like a smaller version of lime and a smaller version of the chipotle and then put them together to make a lime chipotle. And that's basically done the same way. It's a cup of sea salt, 2 tablespoons of lime zest, and that one got mortared and pestled and then cooked. And then the chipotle was just blend the anchos with the salt and then put them together. So that was kind of the plan for those ones. Rosemary olive oil bagels topped with finishing salt. Rosemary salt plus bread equals good. That sounds delicious. All right, so yeah, I think we should wrap up because we're at a good stopping point having finished the sugars and I need to wash things so I can continue later this afternoon, but that part won't be on stream. I can talk about it during Ghost Trick tonight. So yeah, let's talk about the things that are coming up. Tonight is going to be Ghost Trick at 7. Thank you, Chaz. Tomorrow morning is breakfast stream. Wednesday, I believe, is still Donkey Kong. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there. Thursday will be breakfast stream. Friday morning, I'm going to be painting. I'm going to continue working on that mud flap, the bike mud flap. I'll be pretty close to finishing if I don't finish. I think I can finish all of like the little tiny pieces, but I don't know if I'll get to doing the background, and that'll be the last thing I have to do. And then Friday night is going to be a mystery game. I don't know what Steven is playing. I have plans, so it will be something different. He's doing something. It is a mystery. It might be a mystery to him. Maybe he hasn't decided yet. All right, I'm going to make a tea up and try all these sugars, and I suppose I could try them with a spoon. Where's the vanilla? This is the vanilla. I'm gonna do that first. I know this has to infuse a bit more. Like it's supposed to be a month, but I can still taste it. And the lemon is in the pitcher. What does that remind me of? Cereal. It reminds me of a cereal because it's very lemon and it's very sweet, of course. Is there a cereal that's lemon? I don't know, that's what it reminded me of. And that is very bright with the hibiscus. Special K. I don't know if I tried the Special K. Generic fruit flavored cereal. Fruit Loops, that's it. Or Fruity Pebbles, yes, Rowan, that is definitely it. That's what it reminds me of. That's what the lemon sugar tastes like. Definitely that. Flavored with citric acid. Yep, definitely that flavor profile. Malinvented Fruit Loops. Shh, I'm gonna trademark it. All right, I'm gonna wash some stuff up and go to my appointment, and I will see you all tonight for Ghost Trick. So thanks for tuning in for Secret Stream. I'm going to close these up and get ready. Have a good afternoon, and I hope to see you guys tonight.